Okay, so it's not like that my kids super wanted the cat, and I'm not much of a cat person. But anyways, the cat was missing for 2 days. And I felt terrible, because we're out in the wilderness, 2 days. I told the kids, I'm like, I'm so sorry, you guys. Let's not get our hopes up, And sure enough, I'm tucking Joey into bed, and I was helping Layla do something. We deep condition her hair once a week. So I was deep conditioning Layla's hair while Joey was laying in bed, and he goes, I hear Nia. I hear the cat. I hear the cat, right? And hi, bye, Tiffany. Bye. Tell me what you buy. I want an unboxing. And he goes, I hear the cat. And sure enough, so I see the cat in the back balcony, but I open the door and she turns around and hides. I don't know, she thought I was going to ground her for not coming in. So I ran down to my bedroom and open up the slider, because that's another one that she'll come to, and then had Layla go up there and go, Nia, Nia, and call for her. And as soon as I come out my door, she went right to Layla. And I'm like, okay, that worked. I made it.
Nope, I'm out. There she is. Go, quick. Red team, go. Red team, go. Oh,
this is the second time that we've lost her in a week.
Abort mission. I see her at the door. I'd rather sleep in the forest.
And so the first time it happened, so she was raised in an apartment. Remember, we were in an apartment for 2 years when we got her. And I had a small balcony, and she would come out on the balcony and just stare dogs at, but she never tried to leave it.
Right.
Never. Not even attempt, right? So we have a balcony here. So I thought she would do the same. Had her out on the balcony, gone.
She's like, oh, playground. And
gone.
It's big.
Then we have a community page on Facebook. This is my cat. She got out. The kids are devastated. Oh, dude, some old lady, teach your cats to be indoor cats. She is an indoor cat.
That's why we said the cat got out.
So for the 2 days that she was missing, I was like, I bet you one of those old fogies stole my cat.
We had a cat. You met the cat. You met the cat once because it was in my old apartment. But I had a cat named Fritz. And my cat Fritz was named after the very first mainstream adult cartoon called Fritz the Cat. And when I moved back to Auburn, same thing, they open the window and they love it because it's the forest. And I scared Fritz one time accidentally, and we were on the second story, and she was sitting in the window. We didn't have a screen in the window. It was me and my ex. And we were living in the bedroom of her dad's house. We turned it into an apartment. Anyway, the cat was on the windowsill, just sitting there. There was no screen. And I shut the door and it scared the cat. And I remember I heard the cat kind of yelp, and it jumped up and it jumped back. So it fell out of the window, right? But the paws grabbed onto the windowsill like you see in a cartoon where it's trying to stay up. And then they just go straight up and then down, and you lose sight of them because they go down the window. So I ran over to the window. I'm like, Fritz! And I ran over to the window, and he fell into the ivy, and he's just looking up at me from the ivy like, you're a jerk. It was awesome. I love cats.
I'm excited. The cat is back. So I got the kids to school on time this morning. We're still figuring out the timeline, because now there isn't road construction so it took a little bit longer before. So now today my kids were the first ones at school. Mom doesn't want anything to do with her kids. Both my kids would prefer social distance learning though. So we got an email about that at the beginning of the school year, and I have to sign up for something called K through 12, but it's a waiting list.
Is it a home study program?
Yeah.
Okay, so they want to go back on home study?
They would prefer. Layla does better. She goes, I was getting my homework done better on distance learning. I was paying attention. I could pay attention better when I was distance learning. And Joey is legit scared of COVID.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, and their dad was getting to see them a lot more. And So if we have an opportunity to go back to in-home learning, I think we're going to do that, even though we really like the school. So I'm having a hard time with it because I love the teachers and I love the school so far.
It's tough. It's really, you know, and then when you think about it, like how many things are we learning that we can do or get by with that we didn't need all these years, you know, but now we're learning like Twitter employees are working from home now, just permanently. Like, yeah, we figured out you guys can do this from home, you know?
Yeah, my friend Heather, she said her mom has been commuting to San Francisco for 20 years. And then the COVID happened and they're like, you don't have to, so she doesn't have to commute to San Francisco ever again.
Yeah.
And then I was at the bank. She said that half their people are going to start, they realized they could do most of it from home too, like loans and stuff. You could Zoom that in.
Yeah. Yeah. So, hey, can I show you something?
Yeah.
Want to see my coffee cup?
Oh, the boys made that?
So
No.
Your son and my youngest are same. They're little hustlers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is merch that my youngest made. And then he had it set up so it was $8.01 so that he would make 1 penny. And then he showed it to Michelle and said, "Did you see the cup I made you?" And she goes, "Yeah." And he goes, "Now you can buy my merch real quick and it'll be a present for you." So this was my son's first merch.
You have to buy it. You have to buy it.
Right? How do you tell him you're not going to buy his merch when it's a gift?
You don't. You do not tell him that you can't buy it, that you're not going to buy his merch. My son has merch. He has t-shirts and he has canvases. And you know, his dad and I are both we are totally behind him, like for when he wants to do it, you know.
We do radio for a living. Like, how can we look at our kids and be like, no, don't be a personality?
Oh my goodness. I introduced Layla to I met a new friend up here and I introduced her at the park and she was like hiding behind a tree. And my girlfriends are like, whose kid is that? Like, that's not you. That's not Joe. Like, she's really shy at first. I'm like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So maybe she can't get a word in because her parents are two big, strong personalities.
I don't know what you're talking about. Hi, Cindy.
Hi, Cindy. How are you? Okay, so what do you have going on today?
Okay. So I have to head to Lean Feast in Stockton. Did you know, we haven't really talked about it very much. We talked about it a little bit with you because you lost a lot of weight during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
I've taken off almost 27 pounds.
So it's noticeable.
Thank you.
Like didn't I tell you, a listener, but also a friend of mine sent me your video of you at Lean Feast. And she's, can somebody get him a different shirt? You're like swimming in that shirt.
I know.
It's huge on you. And I had already noticed that you had lost weight I noticed it a lot in your face. But then when she sent me that Lean Feast video, I was like, dude, that shirt is like, that's now a jammy shirt.
But I'm in this really weird spot because I have a super long torso. I've got short legs. I've got a really long torso. So even when I lose weight, larges don't fit me right.
Like show your belly.
because it's still a midriff. I'm still just like, hey, look at the belly.
Even that shirt.
What's that?
That used to be tight. Is that new?
No, this is the old one.
Yeah, that shirt used to be snug.
Yeah, I know. And I'm afraid to go get new clothes because I want to keep it off. I hope I keep it off. But then I go get new clothes, and then I go get fitted clothes, and that's like inspiration or that's like motivation to keep it off. But then then the minute it doesn't come off and it feels a little snug again, there's this mental block where you start snowballing, and you're like, well, now it's not. I mean, now I might as well just get ready to go back into the ones that had a little more give.
They're accountable. No, consistency. Because I want to get like the tummy tuck and stuff. And I couldn't get into the place until next December. And I'm like, cool. That way I don't feel like I'm rushing the rest of my weight loss. And if I just stay consistent and I still have my little cheat, I won't feel bad about a cheat meal here and there because I have a year to get to I want another 50 pounds off before I go and get it tucked.
Well, and you said cheat meals, and that's like the big thing. Like for me, it's just food. Like I love exercise. I love going out. I love doing yard work. I love sweating. I love having my heart elevated. That's fun for me.
Okay,
Food,
so how is Lean Feast? What do you get at Lean Feast? Do you go at the beginning of the week and you get to meal plan for the whole week? Or do you just go, like, how exact? Tell me more about Lean Feast.
So Lean Feast is like the best way I can describe it is almost like a healthy Chipotle style, but not Chipotle food, but like same concept. So like you put together.
We don't have Chipotle here, by the way. It's just an ongoing joke of ours.
Yeah. So you put together your little.
Oh, that's cool.
Thing.
So you can just fill it what you want. It's not a pre-made meal.
No, so it goes protein, veggie. It goes protein, carb, veggie. So you pick your protein. So it's like a lot of like there's chicken, bison, beef, pork, fish, and then your veggies, which are and then the veggies are raw. They're not cooked. And then your protein or your carb, which is like a quinoa or a potato or something like that. And then they do it in it's 12, 14, or 16 ounces. So you crack the lid, you just barely crack the lid, and you microwave it for 1:45. And it's like that's been my biggest hang up is food, because like I'm tired of making the same food over and over.
I've been wanting to do meal prep for a meal prep place for a long time, and this is cool that you get to choose. That way, it's different all the time. What about people who don't do carbs? Are they allowed to sub out for other veggies?
As far as I know, yes.
Okay, but you do carbs, so you don't know the answer to that probably.
But yeah, so they do, and then they just have different programs. So like
carbless. So I was wondering.
I think you could go carbless. I'm actually going to ask about that today. I would like to go carbless.
And I know vegetables have carbs. Before y'all come at me, you know what I mean by carbs, like the starchy ones.
Yes. They do have this really cool cinnamon apple mashed potato, which on its surface sounds like cinnamon apple mashed potato, but oh my God.
Actually think that sounds pretty good.
So they just have different programs. It's like meal programs in increments like 5, 10, 15, 20. And then I would suggest, because the food, it's not frozen food. So I would suggest going twice a week if you do one of the programs.
That makes sense.
I think you could do an entire 5 days and still have the integrity and flavor of the food. So today's only my second day going, and I'm going with our friend Lucas. And
I love Lucas. Please give him a COVID hug for me.
I'm gonna give him some elbow.
Give him an elbow from Madden.
So yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. So I between that, I have to throw shout outs to Lean Feast and shout outs to Save Mart, because if you remember a few weeks ago, we did that remote at Save Mart.
Bags are bad. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And when we did the video with Save Mart, I started trashing steamer bags because I didn't know that they had them, right? So we're talking about the
salmon one.
Yes, I have. Oh my God. My God.
I was like, I'm very particular about salmon because I have a hard time cooking it with fish, and it's delicious.
Yes. And when he was telling me about, or when I started talking about steamer bags, I was talking about like in the freezer department, you get the steamer vegetable bags.
Yes. And they always come out.
I didn't know that they were putting whole meals in a bag.
Oh yeah. And it's like fresh veggies and a salmon and everything in there. And you bake the bag, right?
Bake or microwave. You can do either or.
Cut it open and you can bake it. Mm-hmm.
It's between that and Lean Feast, because my biggest hang up has been food, and I don't have enough variety, and I can't do chicken and broccoli all day long like some people. So those two, between those two places.
The way that is perfect because they're individual bags is your family doesn't eat the same way.
Nope.
And I always know somebody's going to jump on here. You eat what I put in front. No, my family doesn't eat the same way either. We all eat very different.
That.
And so if you are cooking for the rest of the family, you could just pop yours in the microwave or the oven while you're cooking the hot dogs or whatever the rest of the family's eating,
Whatever. I remember when we were talking about the steamer things, I brought it up and you're like, have you tried those yet? And I'm like, I was going to, but then I started trashing them, not realizing how good they were.
Yes. That Lean Feast thing, that's a great concept. That's a great idea to go down down the road, like a Chipotle.
It really, and between the two, between Save Mart and Lean Feast and the steamer bags and what they have, like I can pretty much do the week, like between two places. For me, for the the family's a little different, but there's some stuff in there, like there's some steamer bags that my wife likes, but I mean my kids are the same as yours. It's like if it doesn't have Kraft mac and cheese on the box, it's a struggle sometimes.
The pediatrician told my son that he can't be snacking in between meals anymore.
Oh, they had that talk?
Yeah, but he wants to be healthier. Like he drinks his water. But his palate. It's the food, you know.
Yeah.
And so I buy these new things, and I'm like, just try it. But my kid won't even eat peanut butter and celery because he doesn't like the it's green, the crunch.
I want to argue that, but Michelle won't eat half the food because of the texture.
I won't eat mushrooms because of it. Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't make sense to me.
That's the difference between me and Michelle. If she knows it's in there, she still won't eat it, even if she can't see it. Right? If I know it's in there and I can't see it, and the food tastes delicious, I'm fine.
Do you remember when you and I did the Whole30?
Yeah.
Okay. One of the meals in there was salmon cakes. And I made the salmon cakes and I called them sweet potato cakes and I gave them to Michelle and she loved them. She thought they were phenomenal. And then I told her they were salmon cakes. And now she'll tell everyone I was just eating them so I wouldn't hurt your feelings. You've never, in the entire time I've known you, ate something to not hurt my feelings. You've always told me when you don't like something, 100% of the time.
I love, though, that you know her well enough to call it potato cakes instead. Yeah. Like, she's not going to eat this.
Because I know.
I love Michelle, but that's so 12-year-old of her.
She does not realize when I cook how much stuff I put in there that she doesn't like every single time. It's mental. It's mental.
It is. Because if I see the mushrooms, but if I don't see them, I'm sure they're delicious. And don't give me a mushroom and call it a meat replacement either. It's not.
Do you know why she won't eat Caesar salad anymore?
Because there's anchovies in it.
Because I made the mistake of making my own Caesar salad dressing one time and she saw how I made it. And from that point, and Caesar was her favorite. So
that's hilarious.
Anyway, that's my life. When everybody listen, when everybody, and it happens 5 times a week, when everybody's commenting, well, now we'll understand when we see Michelle on an episode of Snapped. She's got her own eccentricities that are not easy to live with.
But it's just so much more fun to make fun of you.
Because they don't have a male version of Snap. They just call it murder.
All right, you guys, we are giving away tickets to the series Drive-In all week. Is it series Cruise-In or series Drive-In? Series Cruise-In.
I call it Drive-In all the time too.
Me too. Okay, so series Cruise-In, which was my favorite growing up. So many memories there. I think I'm going to take the kids to Hotel Transylvania on Friday night.
I think you should. I think
we should. This will make one of my why? See, they're still mad at you. It's still your fault.
That's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. Like, I'm fighting an uphill battle that I cannot win, no matter what.
You remind me so much of my dad, and that's a compliment. Because he has to put up with me and my mom. He always is the loot. Like my mom could spill a drink and she'll go, "Damn!" He's like, "How's this my fault?"
Exactly. I know. Oh, and tomorrow, don't let me forget, because Cindy O is posting about why am I messing with her food. She actually knows a story about my wife and a coconut cream pie that she's still holding on to from like 10 years ago. Don't let me forget to tell you that tomorrow.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we've already been on for 20 minutes. So series Drive-In tickets all week. We'll talk about, maybe we could even make that on our topic on our radio tomorrow. Like, what do you intentionally, we kind of did that today, but that's funny.
Yeah,
I used because Joe would complain about garlic all the time. So this one meal I put, and I love garlic.
I know this story, and you're a terrible person.
And he was sick for like 2 days.
He gets really gassy, right? With garlic, like doesn't he get
garlic and dairy? He can't do.
Yeah.
If we would go get ice cream, we would immediately have to drive straight home. Like we couldn't go and do like ice cream dessert anywhere if we were going somewhere or going to be there for a while.
Yeah, that's why I carry those little dairy tablets with me. They're lifesavers.
Well, he
may be too extreme for that.
He doesn't do dairy anymore. He's vegan. He doesn't do dairy anymore.
Oh, that's right, huh? Doesn't have to worry about that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
All right, you guys. We will see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Ian 1 and Ian 2. Bye.